Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. What an exciting time to be in our industry. Steve Madincea is with us, along with Dr. Matt Bennett at Northwood University. And I thought it appropriate to invite these gentlemen on and hear a little bit about what they've been hard at work on. Northwood University has launched a motorsports management program. Steve and Matt, welcome, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Our pleasure.
Thanks, Ted. Great to see you again, and looking forward to talking about this and all the exciting things we're working on here at America's Automotive University.
And you've certainly got the expert involved early. Steve, you've got a rich history in this type of thing. Welcome to the roundtable. And Steve, if you don't mind, I know you're a Northwood alum, but give us a little bit of your background and how we got here.
Oh, wow. Thanks very much, Ted. Great to be here. Post my graduation from Northwood, I was very fortunate to get aligned with Ford Motor Company as they got back into motorsports across America, NASCAR, Trans Am racing, drag racing, everything. And it was just kind of like my master's degree in motorsport. And during that period, they wanted to get a bit more serious about their Formula One program. They had a program with the Benetton family of the Benetton clothing family, Benetton Ford team, and they wanted me to basically go in and handle all the commercial activities globally. So they got a line messaging with Ford Japan, Ford Australia, Ford Brazil, Ford Mexico. And as a young guy in my early 20s, I thought, what a great opportunity. Why not? Let's go for this. It might last 30 years, might last 3 years. The assignment was originally for 3, but I've been here for 30. So quite an enjoying time to be in motorsport all around the world, that's for sure.
And Matt, congratulations on putting this together. Tell us a little bit about the initiative, Matt, and some background on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, credit is given where credit is due. I mean, it's the brainchild, I think, certainly of Steve and our president, Dr. Kent McDonald. I think it started maybe perhaps on the back of a napkin, Steve, but really transformed with Steve's real pipeline of hearing the what's what and who's who and what needs are within the industry, whether that's F1, Indy, NASCAR. He certainly has built a great rapport of relationships. And as they developed kind of the framework, I was brought in. As you know, a year ago, we launched our Center for Automotive and Mobility Studies. And so we really try to get legs with this. So Steve, myself, Dr. Dave Oventhal, who I know you're aware of, Ted, is our professor of automotive strategy as provided by Subaru of New England, really worked on a survey instrument first to see what the needs were. So,
Hmm.
given Steve's unbelievable network and relationships, we were able to deploy that to literally the who's who. I won't say who because I may forget somebody, but we had some of the top race teams all over the world provide us with insights. And it really kind of proved Steve and Dr. McDonald and our hypothesis right. There's a need and there's a gap. And who better to serve that gap for talent in the motorsports arena, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, than America's Automotive University. And so we had the chassis, no pun intended, but a little bit. We had the chassis with programming, but we really needed Steve's insights and expertise as a subject matter expert and his relationships to get insights from the teams in terms of what skills were needed. And through the course of the past year, we really finalized a program that met the needs that not only gave them the classroom learning, but moreover, and I believe the key differentiation of Northwood and this program, the experiential learning, where students can go from the classroom to the track and to the events all over the world and get hands on learning opportunities that make them that much more valuable to these teams and this industry as a whole. And that might not only be the teams, but as Steve can probably elaborate more, it's an ecosystem of opportunities. So that's where we sit as we're looking to launch the first program class intake in 26. But we have started workshops for students all over the country as we speak now. So, Steve, we want to give a little more insight on the nuts and bolts. I think that kind of gives a good layout of where we are.
Yeah, I think that is a great background. And essentially, we looked at this multi-billion-dollar industry, recognized that it was having substantial growth pattern. Dr. McDonald kept feeding me data that was being sent to him, probably from Matt and others, saying, "Look at the NASCAR television figures; they're smashing it. Look what IndyCar is doing now with Fox and moving into Arlington with the Cowboys and stuff. They're smashing it." And look at F1 in America. It just kept going from strength to strength and will continue to go from strength to strength based upon the leadership team they have in place there. So you add all these up, it's not a far step away from the center from CAMS, right? And so Matt and I started talking with Dr. McDonald, and it was percolating a bit. Other board, I was fortunate to be on the Northwood Board of Trustees. Other trustee members were very interested in it, talking to me about it during breaks and board action stuff. And then I got lucky. Sometimes you get lucky, right? Dr. McDonald, during the off season, was doing one of his international trips. He had about a half a day that he said, I'll give you a half a day, do whatever you need to do with me. And I brought him down to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, which of course is the mecca for automotive enthusiasts and motoring enthusiasts.
Oh.
And I said, let's go around and talk to people. And probably the most interesting thing is that there were about a half dozen Northwood graduates in prominent positions at these automotive companies in situ there. And we just had good discussions. And they're like, yes, we've got great team members, but we need to grow. We need to do this. They need to know more about data analytics. They need to know more about this. And some of that's existing Northwood courses, right? So we're very happy with that. We know we could do that, but we knew we had to have a little specialism, to teach them a little couple of things specific about the industry, about the sector. Matt mentioned the survey that we did with everybody from the FIA and all the sanctioning bodies to the teams and events. And that feedback was rich, quite frankly. It was second to none. And that's really where we're taking that information to move forward with, so that any students that join the Northwood Motorsport Management course, they will be graduated and highly, highly valued.
Matt, motorsports attracts some big companies with some big brands and big names. Is that part of the overall strategy? Will that be incorporated here as we watch you roll this out? Which this sounds extremely exciting.
I think the pace will be fast. I think, as our president says in many occasions, we're at a pace now where it's all gas and no brakes. And once again, I think the reality is that's about building the relationships and the ecosystem, which is very rich, as you know, in Northwood University's history in the automotive and mobility sector as a whole. So it's not a far cry, as Steve alluded to earlier, from even what we're doing in your areas, Ted, with fixed and variable and the dealership networks. I just had a call last week with a very prominent dealer group, and they are all F1 junkies, and they go to races all over the world. So it's really building the ecosystem with a group of like-minded individuals, men, women from the United States all the way across the globe, who have that motor oil, as you've heard me say many times, running through their veins. And candidly, no one else is doing this. And that provides a very differentiating niche for us that we're going to continue to embrace and really drive all the way through the checkered flag. I think the reality is making sure that the exposure's there, the opportunities are there, because we know it's not only very popular, to Steve's point, in growth in the United States, but it's been excessively popular abroad. I mean, Steve's on this call from the UK right now, and it's a religion. And I don't think that's an outlandish claim, but across the globe. So it also impacts Northwood University's global footprint and ties within automotive as a whole. So we're really excited about where this is going. We've got a handful of months here for our inaugural cohort, which we're anticipating in the fall. And I think the reality is not only working with these brands and these teams, and I won't name any because I don't want to put spotlights on one versus the other, but it also extends into their sponsors, the marketing divisions, the programs, the logistics, the event coordinators. The dominoes keep going down and down and down the line, to Steve's point, in that multi-billion-dollar network. And I like to say we build the bandwagon big enough for everybody to jump on the Northwood wagon. And I think that's the reality of where we're at today, and really excited to provide a new program opportunity in this exciting industry.
Steve, I got to say that I don't think Matt and I are surprised when you mentioned the Northwood alumni who are literally all over the world and
Yeah.
representing this industry, and the fact that there's so many involved, and I think that's gonna accelerate the fuel, okay, that you are putting to this program, Steve.
I think you're right, Ted. I think you're 100% correct. And that's been one of the wonderful things to find out not by design, but by error, as we go through this, right? Where people can help us.
Um, so Matt, where's the program at now? You've alluded to a couple things,
Yeah.
things that are already in place, but also, you know, a lot of people are making, and a lot of dealers and companies watching are making their plans now for 2026. We're looking ahead to the new year. What kind of things can we look forward to? I know down below we've got a scroll. We'll give the URL here during the course of our talk today. But what's in the works, and what can we expect from Northwood coming out here?
Yeah, we really went into this endeavor with a crawl, walk, run approach, and we're walking excessively briskly, I think would be the best phrase. Excessively briskly. So what we did with Steve, his contacts in industry, the feedback from the survey instrument that was global in nature. To be candid, I want to put a significant highlight on that with literally the largest players in the industry. What we did is we built the curriculum, which will begin in the fall of 2026 as
Okay.
part of a bachelor's program at Northwood University for those
Oh,
degree seeking. We think there's a great need for the sons and daughters of the
yes.
folks within this industry and beyond. But for initial run, we built workshops that our existing student body can participate in so that the existing Northwood student body and prospective students all over the country and globe can participate in under Steve and Dr. Oventhal's leadership. We just held our first workshop a couple weeks ago. Was very successful. Steve, with his contacts, has set up a host of great guests that can give students an opportunity to see what life is like in certain sectors of the industry. So we really wanted to get them engaged while we're changing the tire on the race car while it's going around the track. So those workshops are in place. We're also actively recruiting amongst these teams, amongst these groups for the fall of 2026, and really excited about that. Also, building in potential partnerships and sponsorships to help support these. We know this industry is no stranger to sponsorships across the board. And under Steve's leadership, those are big things that I know he is driving. And we're really excited to bring that to fruition. So it's a yes and. We're doing things now, building programming moving forward, but also getting ready for a cohort of students within the group who have an F1 or NASCAR or Indy bug that they want to scratch or itch to get them rolling in the fall of 2026.
Steve, this takes Northwood to a whole new realm, and it almost begs the question, you know, why now? Why do we wait so long? Right? This seems like a no brainer. This thing is going to definitely accelerate quickly.
Well, amazingly, Ted, there isn't anybody around the world from an education perspective that has an accredited program like Northwood's pulling together.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
if you can imagine all the people through my career, you've always had people who say, "Hey, how'd you get into motorsport? How can I get into it?"
Right.
And
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to say mine was by mistake, but it wasn't necessarily by design, as young people would like now, right? I had to do more education on the job than I did, formal education in addition to what I was taught at Northwood. So I think the
Mhm.
most interesting thing, what Dr. Bennett, Dr. Oventhal, and the other educators have pulled together is a format that, broadly speaking, this is not 100% precise, but will be 50% the prime Northwood education that automotive people love, need, and have helped them accelerate their careers and stuff. Broadly, 25% might be motorsport specific that our survey told us from those, people, all from race organizations, teams, events. They told us these are the skills we want people, employees, team members of the future to have, right? So we've really focused on that, and we're looking at those aspects. And then the real differentiator, I believe,
Okay.
are the experiences, the things that we're going to do with these students, where they will work at the biggest events around the world, where they will work with the top teams around the world. They'll get that firsthand experience. So by the time they graduate, their CV will be so compelling. I guarantee you, people will be fighting over them to come work for them, probably because they've experienced them a little bit. And that's our ambition, that's our goal, and that's what we're driving towards right now.
Matt, I want to come. This is really exciting.
Well, and it brings in all of the key ingredients to a successful and really positive recipe for success,
Yeah.
right? As Steve mentioned, the grandiose experiences across the globe, but let's not forget Northwood also is home to the world's largest outdoor new car show, which in the past year or 2 years has expanded to have a significant motorsports footprint. In fact, one of our students actually races and had his own race car on campus. There's already plans in the works for 2026 to have a bigger footprint. So the point being is they can get experiential learning at home as they get started in programming and then expand within internships, right? During the
Yes.
year, throughout their summers, and then into bigger and more grand opportunities. To Steve's point, one of our grand visions, you can see my banner in the back, and also Steve mentioned getting them working at the Festival of Speed at Goodwood,
Yes.
and really
Wow.
where the mecca of F1 and racing comes together in the UK. So those are all some of our grand visions with Steve's relationships, but putting these students in front of others is key because we know they're going to be very well received, but making sure they have the practical experiences to make a difference in those organizations is vital.
So workshops now, this coming fall, okay, accredited learning rollout. I'm
Mhm.
hearing about these experiences all around the world. The timing of this, Matt, I do smell that auto show involved somehow. Maybe even the Cam Summit involved with all this as well, and getting the word out. And Steve, I think the visuals are going to look really great of these Northwood students involved, as you mentioned, all over the world. Okay,
Yeah.
with experiences that they can't really capture at any other institution, with the Northwood name as well. On top of that, icing on the cake.
Absolutely, without question, Ted, and you hit the nail on the head in the respect that if I can graduate from Northwood University and have this tremendous education in automotive, have these tremendous experiences working in the auto show, expanding maybe the motorsport area within the
Yes.
motor auto show. If I can then go to visit, let's just say I go to Indianapolis and I visit the race shops there. I go to Charlotte, North Carolina. I visit the race shops there. I,
Yeah.
I interact with the team leaders on the commercial side. I understand what they're doing. I get an internship at some of these big events, whether they're in the United States or abroad. When I graduate, my CV, my resume will be so compelling. My experience will be so profound. I have to believe that my career is going to accelerate once I go from there.
All right. So today, here we are towards the end of the year. We're in the middle of the fourth quarter. Uh, what are we looking for now? How can our audience start to get involved? I'm sure we're going to have some hand raisers, people who want to get involved with the program on different levels, perhaps potential sponsors, people to support the program. Matt, do we want to encourage our audience to reach out to you and to Steve and to get more information to learn more?
Absolutely. If you're a junkie relevant to motorsports of any kind, you've got that need for speed, as we say.
Yes.
You're in good company because America's Automotive University is delivering the mail in this regard. You're going to be in an unmatched program, and no one else in the world is doing this. So you can see the web address scrolling at the bottom. There's request more information. There's materials. There's digital flyers that people can review, and really an opportunity for even industry representatives who have sons and daughters who may have an inclination for racing or may not want to be an engineer but love the sport. There are hundreds of other jobs and roles within the industry that they can learn. And Steve has a credit to that, relevant to marketing and communications, promotion, cybersecurity, finance, accounting. In fact, one of our alums who served on the board of trustees with Steve oversees the F1 in Miami, Chris Clements, and he's a Northwood grad. So there's opportunities abound based on this unique thing called that Northwood network
Yeah, I
that
know.
puts people in a great opportunity for success. So we're really excited about it.
That's strong. Steve, you went to Northwood Institute. I want to close with that real quick. You went back before it was called Northwood University. So,
Yeah.
Steve, your roots with Northwood are very, very deep.
Very deep, and I'm. It's one reason I'm doing this is because Northwood lit my entrepreneurial flame.
Yeah.
Right? They were the one that sent me on this trajectory. So this is my way to give back. to help any young person that's out there that ever thought, I'd like to be in motorsport. And it's not all glamorous, right? It's not all rock and roll and traveling the world and being great. It's hard work. It's hard work everywhere you go. We had a discussion with somebody very senior at the Indianapolis 500, and she said, look, I'll take some of your team on for work related issues, but they better understand that they're going to work hard. And Matt gave an example of what they do around that auto show. And she said, that's perfect. That's the kind of student I need. Somebody that understands that they may not get a lot of sleep during the prime weekend, in that regard. And it comes full circle, right? You got to give back. You have to give back.
This is a great relationship. I can see that already. Steve, thank you. Dr. Matt Bennett, thank you as well. I want to wish both of you and your families and the Northwood family, and Steve, I know, although you're overseas today, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, okay, and all of you. And congratulations on this. This is fantastic news for our audience. The time to reach out is now. Start making your plans. Northwood University has a motorsports management program. The two gentlemen heading it up are here, along with Dr. Kent McDonald. And I see this going very, very far. So we have a QR code on the screen. You can scan that with your phones now and get more information that way and reach out to Steve and Matt. And gentlemen, on behalf of the Roundtable and the auto industry, thanks for all you do.
Our pleasure, Ted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. This is our gift. We want to wrap up and put under the tree for those race enthusiasts all over the world. So thanks for having us, and happy holidays to all those on and reviewing. And we look forward to working with you.
All right, everybody. Northwood University Motorsports Management here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.